prophets, we don't play. Reaching Israelites in the four corners every day. Breaking soil, yeah, we're royal, and we teaching in His might. We don't fight for corners, but instead we're taking flights. We taking over the world. 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 Yeah. Had to take a tour, now we loading up the top. In the worst city, it get litty in Chicago. Not in my house, get old block like my tumble. We ain't never scared, always going where the crime go. We don't stop there, yeah, you see us on the media. We be taking trips to reach our people up in the air. It don't make no sense, how the haters just be mad at you. When we do the work, we see our footprints all in Africa. Damn it, wherever we go, constantly reaching the fold, working in purple and gold. So we're saying bye now, but Lord will, we'll be back later. Black guy with the forces like we're Darth Vader. All around the whole world like an equator, we taking over the world. All day, when it comes to prophets, we don't play. Reaching Israelites in the four corners every day. Breaking soil, yeah, we're royal, and we teaching in His might. We don't fight for corners, but instead we're taking flights. We taking over the world. 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 Just left the SB lines, now we popping down the gangway. 5 countries bound, yeah, we pulling in the same way. Ironic how they bought us, now they brought us to the same place. This ain't live wood, but reminds me of the same thing. Hate the strange, we been up on it, I'm raving the moan, I'm not Benjamin, but I'm up in it. Got plenty of vengeance up on me, but you know we only about teaching repentance for interest. Can't feed them the business, got blood on my fringes. You know how we battle, now carnal but vicious. Remain on this mission while some lost the vision, cause we get it cracking, what's that, and let's get it.
You are now flying.
Drop that naked down on they asses. We official skippers say we out of bounds, but the rest this place is whistle. God got me, I'm on fire. Take the slide for a drizzle. We go all around, highs from the crystal. Wake up, visual. We don't fizzle, we go all day. When it comes to prophets, we don't play. Reaching Israelites in the four corners every day. Breaking soil, yeah, we're royal, and we teaching in His might. We don't fight for corners, but instead we're taking flights. We taking over the world. 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 If you see us in your city, we gon' go crazy. It don't matter where we at, we gon' go crazy. When it come to doing work, we gon' go crazy. Don't need no payment, we gon' go take it off. You can see us on your block, it don't matter how far we gotta go. Just no matter what time that you gon' see the prophets that you do this thing free. So we out here working like we paid off. 7 straight, we deliver news. Ain't no days off. We the leaders. Better believe it for you days off. But my people barking at the gates like a caged dog. When they see the prophets, watch them get abroad. They be wanting us to stop it, but we cast them off. You would think that make us angry. We ain't mad at all. We going crazy like a straight jacket and some padded walls. Quest 7, we gon' add more. And we floating to your city like it's fast forward. We get identified, then we crash course. Do the mission, then we taking pictures when we passports. No ifs, ands, or maybes. All the way from the bishop to the babies. I hope the people see we don't play, cause around the world, IUIC going crazy. If you see us in your city, we gon' go crazy. It don't matter where we at, we gon' go crazy. When it come to doing work, we gon' go crazy. Don't need no payment, we gon' go
Nehemiah, chapter 8 and verse 8. So they read out the book of the law
sense and cause them to understand the reading. Hey, what we doing? We understand it. Let's get into it. We understand it. Read scripture fluently. We understand it. That's what the topic be. We understand it. Prophecy. Hey, what we doing? We understand it. Let's get into it. We understand it. Read scripture fluently. We understand it. That's what the topic be. We understand it. Prophecy.
The mic's on. Oh yeah, we here. Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless, man. Another episode of Understanding Prophecy.
That's right.
And I am one of your hosts of many, because we got a panel full of hosts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't see me, you might see them. Right. When you don't see them, you might see me. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you see us today. We here tonight, hey, trying to get it in, man, with another segment. Called, I done forgot the class already, man. What that? Wait, come on, y'all help me out.
Whoa.
The what? The whoa something, man. The whoa.
Woe in the last days.
Whoa me, man. Yeah.
The woe effects in the last days.
There you go, the war effects in the last day. So we're going to be in this segment covering a lot of catastrophic events that's going on that the Lord is clearly showing our people. Listen, you better get your stuff together before I come back. So, hey, you already know Officer Daniel to my right.
Officer Middleton.
And to my left.
Officer Hawkins.
And to my far right.
Officer, you're one of them.
And we got the reader with us today.
Soldier Adrian.
All praises, man. We got the reader with us. Yeah, we ain't forget about him, man. Hey, but you'll be able to see his face in the near future. Lord's with it, man. All right. So, hey, cue that first video up real quick, man.
There's a lot of stuff been going on, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff been going on. You got the fire that's been going on in L.A.
sir.
You got the famine that's going on in Sudan. I think there was flooding over there in Dominican Republic about a year or 5-6 months ago. Man, it's just a lot of stuff going on in the earth, man.
Yeah, the most out turning it up right now, man.
Yeah, I was showing my daughter earlier of also, and not only is the famine going on in Sudan and South Sudan, but in South Sudan, you know the Negroes are always in the South. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the South got something to say all over the world. Hey, but what happened is the White Nile overflowed. And all that green land, all that land mass over there because they just set up shop on flat land over there. You know what I'm saying? And they families had to migrate, and I was just really meditating on it. I'm like, the Lord always have us to migrate through oppression, whether it's a tyrant nation that's you know what I'm saying, making this oppression that we're in harder and harder, right. Or whether it be by flood, or like we going into LA, whether it be by fire. He manipulate these because they all spirits, the water spirit, the fire spirit, the spirit in the tyrant, the nation that oppress us. He used these things to give us an understanding and an insight of what it is he's trying to get us to see spiritually. But we go, like the bishop had the class, the last man standing, where he put the video on of the black brother, and he was like, man, well, the news anchor asked him, well, why his house, didn't burn down? The man was like, well, I guess God favored him. God loved him. And she was like, well, what you think about God for your house? He was like, man, it's clear. He don't love us. He don't love us. I thought God loved everybody, though.
Yeah, for real, though.
Ain't that what the church say?
That's what they teach.
People say,
they teach, man.
But guess what? I guarantee you, he ain't looking at his situation as a situation to have him to think. Yeah. Man, what they taught us is a lie in these churches, man. Wow! And that's the dogma about all people thinking capability. The Lord try to wake them up.
Right.
But it's only so much you're going to be able to see if you ain't looking from a spiritual standpoint. And you got to be intact with this Bible to get that information. Right. Because it's in secret. But cue that first video up real quick.
Our top story tonight on Gravitas is about the new nuclear arms race, threatening global stability. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has made it clear that the country is set to abandon a moratorium on deploying intermediate and shorter range nuclear missiles. What's the catalyst, you ask? According to Lavrov, the United States planned deployment of similar weapons across various regions. And now Russia's move directly endangers the last remnants of a Cold War-era arms control framework. In fact, fueling fears of a fresh nuclear arms race among countries such as the US, Russia, China. Before we go any further, it's important to first understand how much nuclear arsenal the countries possess. And just to put this into perspective, with Lavrov's statements, both Russia and the US have more than 5,000 nuclear warheads each. Together, they dominate the nuclear landscape, controlling 90% of global nuclear arsenals. China, while lagging way behind with around 600 warheads, is rapidly modernizing and expanding its arsenal. Like we told you early this month, according to a Pentagon report, China has added more than 100 warheads in the past year alone, and the PLA is projected to possess over 1,000 warheads by 2030.
All right, that's it on that. That's it. So that's the reason why I got the. You was like, well, you got the Pentagon. All of these decisions come from the Pentagon.
You see how she said it though?
Yeah, how she said it.
She said, China has gotten the woke up, but I just wanted to do that. I just wanted to do that. The whole time she was talking, just thinking about how she sound like this. Why she sound like this?
That's Saudi Arabia right there, man. She missing the red dot.
She said, and they have gotten all the nuclear capability. Oh, man.
Hey, but it shows you between Russia and America, they own 90% of the nuclear warheads that's occupied on Earth.
They do
That
own
was
that.
created.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they and then they said China come in lacking at third place. So everybody is in a race. This is a race to power. Meanwhile, give me that in Zephaniah 2:1. We can't get this first step right here.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1.
Right. We can't get the first step down pat to where we ain't even talking about a military. You know, we got a military. You see the military. We always marching. We always going out, prophesying against city, against states, against countries, so on and so forth, against the government system. And we're going to have to lose our life for it. You know what I'm saying? I just hope they take me quick. You know, I'm going to be honest, man. Get me up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But read that in Zephaniah.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So we are the nation that's not desired. When it comes to war, when it comes to having a nuclear warheads created, so on and so forth, guess what? These folks ain't even thinking nowhere near us.
Right. No.
We have no dog in the fight whatsoever. Even when you look at the European Union, we don't have a representative to represent us as a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff happens all because we supposed to gather together under the umbrella of the law, statutes, and commandments. The covenant that we made with the Most High God. We said, listen, all you say, Lord, we will do.
That's right.
But guess what? We done nigger rigged and reneged and anything else that was rigged on the play. You know what I'm saying? But she mentioned that this is the talk in the Pentagon. So pull that picture of the Pentagon up. And then also have that picture with the page in the book of Josephus. So this is the Pentagon. So you see how, you know, they built this. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, our people built the Pentagon. You know, just like they built the White House. You know what I'm saying? The architect and all that stuff that goes into it. You know, all folks built this stuff or whatever. But how they have all of the decisions that's made concerning war, and world changes, so on and so forth, all of the decision comes out of the military defense area of this building right here. So the reason why I pulled it up because you see how it's built, see how it's set up. Now give me that in the page in Josephus.
Why he do that, man? And I'm telling you, like you would think how we started, we was talking about how all this stuff is happening, but you would think our people would start to realize all of the atrocities and that didn't happen to us. And with all the stuff combined of what's happening right now, some got to be going on. It got to be a sign.
They better wake up.
We living in a bubble over here in America, bro.
Yeah.
Really though.
They don't want to wake up. They too busy praying. They praying for no war, but the Bible talks about war.
Right. Peace. They praying for peace.
They praying for peace, but hey, you got what you got?
In Jesus' name, yes, sir. All right, so this chapter 9, page, I forgot what page this is, 748 in the book of, what his name? Valerian Josephus. This chapter 9, it says, what injunction Caesar gave when he was come within the city, talking about Jerusalem, because this was a siege. They surrounded the city, and now the city is under siege. Now they finally breaking through the walls in Jerusalem. It says the number of the captives and of those that perished in the siege, as also concerning those that escaped into the subterranean caverns, among whom were the tyrants Simon and John themselves. It says, now when Titus was come into the upper city, he admired not only some other places of strength in it. So when you look at the Pentagon, that's America's place of strength. It says, but particularly those strong towers which the tyrants in their mad conduct had relinquished. For when he saw their solid altitude and the largeness of their several stones and the exactness of their joints, as also how great was their breadth, and how extensive their length. So he's looking at the length of them and the height of them. He said he impressed himself after the manner following, we have certainly had God for all assistance in this war. This what Titus said now. He said, certainly God couldn't be nowhere but on our side in order for us to break through the walls of Jerusalem to witness with my eyes the beauty of this city and how the architect of the people that built it did it. He said, we have certainly had God for our assistance in this war, and it was no other than God who injected the Jews out of these fortifications. See what they call all city? These was fortified walls. It says, for what could the hands of men or any machines do towards overthrowing these towers? Let him cook. You see how magnificent the architect was in the city of Jerusalem?
Yeah.
He got into the walls of the city and he was like, surely if the towers that I'm looking at had been built within the walls, well, not within the walls, if their walls had been built the same way as they built these fortified towers that's within the walls, surely we wouldn't have never been able to break through the walls of Jerusalem. They was all just gonna have to die out basically from starvation and no water. All right, where I was, it says, at which time he had many such, at which time he had many such discourses to his friends. So this is a conversation he had amongst his friends. He also let such go free as had been bound by the tyrants and were left in the prisons. To conclude, when he entirely demolished the rest of the city and overthrew its walls, he left these towers as a monument of these good fortune, which had proved his auxiliaries and enabled him to take what could not otherwise have been taken by him. And now, since his soldiers were already quite tired with killing men, and yet there appeared to be a vast multitude still remaining alive, Caesar gave order that they should kill none but those that were in arms and oppose them, but should take the rest alive. So they went over there and it was killing so much to where the soldiers got tired of killing us.
Right.
to where they had to go back to Caesar, and Caesar gave the order, put the order out. Look, kill only the people that's in opposition to us. Let everybody go. So if at first they was killing man, women, and kids, young and old. You remember the curses was gonna be, they ain't gonna have pity on the young or the old and do the running.
Right.
Right.
All right. It says where I was.
But together,
Yeah,
with
read
those
that.
whom they had orders to slay, they slew the aged and the infirm. But for those that were in their flourishing age and who might be useful to them, they drove them together into temple and shut them up within the walls of the court of the women, over which Caesar set one of his freedmen, as also Fronto, one of his own friends, which last was to determine everyone's fate according to his merits. So this Fronto slew all those that had been seditious and robbers who were impeached one by another. But of the young men he chose out the tallest and most beautiful and reserved them for the triumph.
Do you remember how they did Daniel? They chose out, they always, listen, they know who he is. We just don't know who he is. They always chose out the wise men. They always, it's just like on the slave plantation. And when it comes to the post that they have us on? The auction blocks. When they have us on the auction blocks, they checking the teeth, just like the NBA, the NFL combine. They checking the teeth, seeing how tall you are, see how high you can jump. You know, because they can look at your teeth and tell whether you healthy or not. So this is what they doing. Same thing. These are same people. That lets you know the Lord don't change the spirit of the man. We just confused in today's time to think that this man is Jesus the Christ. And everybody that look like him, which is white, is right. But read on.
And as for the rest of the multitude that were above 17 years old, he put them into
bonds. When you go to the next page, scroll up. Yep. Yeah, somebody took a bad picture.
Yeah, that's gonna be real blurry.
Let me read.
Like you did.
I know it. The person that took that picture probably got a cracked screen.
Can you get a little bit closer?
Come on, man.
Let me see.
You can't.
Might be an Android.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, so it goes into that they basically took the young men and put them in bonds. And what I really wanted to get, where they took them to Egypt. They took them to Egypt and sold them to the Egyptian, which they knew, which goes into how the Zondervan Bible Dictionary identify us as being a different nation of people. And also it goes into that Egyptian captivity. Well, not the Egyptian captivity. It goes into that we basically was different from the Egyptians, and that we were sold, and then they came over there on the west coast of Africa and bought us and brought us over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of history in these other books, but if they're not parallel with the history of the Bible, then you know what I'm saying, we ain't reading it.
Right.
So that's it on that. So that's the reason why I went into it in regards to how they use in America the Pentagon as they place where they make all of the world decisions from a military standpoint. We had our place where we reside, where we had fortified cities and fortified towers that we basically built in regards to where, and the tall wall where it was a defense from the other nations that came up against us, because they always came up against us. We went through what the Palestine came up against us, Assyrians came up against us, Babylon came up against us, the Greek. You know what I'm saying? We done went through so many, the Romans. We done went through so many various of captivities to the point where we are a homeborn slave.
Slave. And look, and that's all because we not trusting in the Most High God.
Right.
And what you just read from a minute ago in the Acts of Josephus, the detriment and the killing and stuff that happened to our people happened because why? We didn't want to follow Christ.
Nope.
Guess what? Those same people that was killed, this is why that happened. Give me that in Luke 21 real quick. through 21 and start at verse 20. Let's see why this happened, because during this time, this is what you would call the freedom fighters. This was the Jewish revolt. I can't remember if it's one or two. It was like two of them, if I ain't mistaken. But go ahead and read that real quick.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
Now this is Christ speaking. So he said, when you see Jerusalem, these same, like you see the same people like Titus that has the city surrounded. Christ had already prophesied that this was going to happen. Read.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Right.
Then let them which are in Judea.
They said what?
Then let them which are in Judea.
So those that was in Judea, those that follow Christ, he said he tell them to do what?
Flee to the mountains.
That's what they did. So those that follow Christ, they flew into the mountains. But our people who wanted to stay back and be freedom fighters, they thought they was gonna get the kingdom then. They stayed back, and this is what happened. Keep reading.
And let them which are in the midst thereof depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter in thereinto.
Right. So he's saying y'all leave this city and don't come back. But that just goes to show how our people they safety ain't in what the Most High Christ is, and Most High and what Christ tell us to do. They think that a fortified building can save them, and it just showed how tight it is. They overthrew all that.
Yeah, the Lord didn't care nothing about them damn fortified walls, city, none of that, man. Yeah. He predicted that they was gonna come, and they came and put a siege on Jerusalem. And the rest history. Now we out of the land. Now the 1948ers over there, man. Doing all type of abominable works, man, in the Holy Land, man. All right, so we finna go to a commercial break. All right, and we will be right back with you. Hold tight, Israel. We coming right back.
Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die, infallible truth, he ain't never lie. Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die. Infallible truth, he ain't never lie. I had to let go of my idols. I had to let go of the titles. I had to forgive all my rivals. Had to reread my Bible. He opened my eyes, I couldn't believe it. He opened my eyes and that was the drive, made me a believer. So I had to follow truth. Steph Curry with the wrist work, I had to follow through. I know my life bothered you. Wake up, open the blinds. Wake up, open your eyes. I can't give up now. I gotta claim my prize.
They want a medal, a trophy, I'm over it. Looking for heads on the platter, for those that scatter, those that shatter. Hopeless, thinking life don't matter. Open the Bible and look in the mirror, I thought I saw a God. Could've sworn I beat him with a ride. Overtime on the job, working shift till it's closing time. You on the road for mine, crossing the globe for mine. Souls to find, go overtime, teach us how to win. Get the victory over sin. What's more than a mortal? Paradise through the portal. See my tribe on the gate. Many matches call it real estate.
Victory over death. Victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die. Infallible truth, he ain't never lie. Victory over death. Victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die. Infallible truth, he ain't never lie.
Can't stop, so I can't snooze. Try to win, so I can't lose. I can see victory on the horizon, so I strive with a great move. Ain't no time for the lions in the street, run arounds and they can't dudes. Ain't no pride, cause it ain't you. Without God, then it can't move. Yeah, they lie and they change rules. Yeah, the devil's a deceiver. keeping watch with his demons, with the lies that he feed us. We under microscope, getting locked in a single cell like amoebas. Ain't no stopping, they need us. Send the privates to free us.
On the block with the leaders, we the overachievers. Some not gon' believe us, but they know that they need us. Got it hot as a fever. We be the Jews. If you ain't with us, then I would not wanna be ya. And you would not wanna see what these eyes were seen. They brought niggas and change, we still here. Financially crippled, surviving off little, but one day we will cheer. Cause we got the blood of the kings, last of a dying breed. We gon' be straight. Some of us grew up without no parents in neighborhoods that foster hate, but it's no debate. We went from gangsters to guys, and that's all on hope. No Eddie Murphy, no Martin Lawrence. This life here ain't no joke. Born to sin and born again. I ain't always been right. Running the streets with sticks and blades, but I was skating on thin ice. Now I just teach with a passion. Hit the block and spring into action. Hot as the summer, and that's why they wonder how we do this in this fashion. They freezing up like the winter time. Whenever we put in that car, the Lord on our side, we ready to rise. So even in death, we won't fall in our season of victory.
Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die, infallible truth, he ain't never lie. Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die, infallible truth, he ain't never lie. Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die, infallible truth, he ain't never lie. Victory over death, victory over sin. Victory is overcoming my temptation no matter what state I'm in. Victory means to lead this world, we never follow trends. Victory means I'll never die, infallible truth.
Hey, yeah, man, you already know, man. Y'all in our personal business, man. We were talking behind the scenes, man. Y'all came in too quick.
One day
Hey,
y'all might get the behind the scenes.
yeah, man. You get the snippets of what's going on in the mind of the prophets behind the scene edition. Hey, but you wanted him to read that from Babylon, Timbuktu, page 90, right?
But this goes into what we were talking about, how they would always choose the ones who were skillful among our people to do their dirty work.
Yeah, the skillful, the wise ones, the ones that was that's the reason why they go into the buck breaking. They would choose the biggest slave, and they were breed. You know, they make them breeders or whatever.
Right.
But read that.
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes.
So what we're reading from is
Yeah, you gotta call the book name, but the title of the page.
Understood. From Babylon to Timbuktu, the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried
Page 90.
Page 90.
Come on now, dog.
They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. It is assured that a constant proceeded for the development of a high social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact,
so the Jews would not absorb, the Jews, which are the Israelites. We ain't talking about the Ashkenazi. We talking about the real Jews.
That's right.
They were not absorbed into the African or the Hamitic tribes. Go ahead.
in fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people.
They were what?
An industrious and skillful people.
Do you understand? They were industrious, meaning their knowledge and wisdom of things. They could come up with industries. That's what industrious stand for. They could come up with industries, certain particular industries among themselves. Go ahead.
Let him cook.
In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries,
people of nobility among the Israelites. Go ahead.
treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters.
Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all thought that we were just a bunch of cones in Africa.
Nah, you know, with no clothes on, swinging from trees.
Swinging from trees. I bet you thought that. I bet you thought that you didn't have a bright history past slavery. Because I heard a lot of y'all say, man, it's a good thing they got us over here in America. We wouldn't be no civilized people.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Hey, I heard a pastor say that.
Man, they
Dang.
said that.
The pastor, I thank God that slavery happened. I came to
Right.
America.
Yeah. Damn.
Y'all don't understand, man. That we are the greatest people and have always been. Finish reading that.
Painters of art,
Painters of art.
goldsmiths, leather workers.
So here in Memphis, we got a guy called Mr. Goldman. Everybody know this dude. But it was us that were the goldsmiths. We were the artificers of the necklaces and the wristbands and the rings and all the jewels. And we had this stuff, and we were becoming wealthy over these things, which that was the end all. But we had a certain wealth amongst ourselves because we had these things. Go ahead.
Hey, hold on. And there's a jeweler named Jacob. Everybody
Jacob,
go to.
yeah.
And why
Jacob.
he named
Moab, ain't it? Ammon?
I think he is Moab.
Yeah, he's something.
I think he may be Moab.
Yeah,
But the crazy part about it is he named himself Jacob.
He was?
Yeah,
He Amalek.
Yeah. But the point was it named itself Jacob.
Wow.
And all of the black artists, the rappers, the NBA players, NFL, they go to him, man.
Love him. That man done got rich off of the Israelites. Go ahead.
Porters, armorers,
Potters.
saddlers,
They said porters.
porters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths.
Hold on, they said saddlers?
Yes.
Yeah, we were the first cowboys. Go ahead.
Y'all better put some respect on that thing,
I
man.
tell you, man, I don't know about Israel, man.
Hey, bro.
You're learning today. Go ahead.
Blacksmiths,
Blacksmith.
agriculturalists, etc.
Agriculturalists. So we buy from America today. We depend on their agricultural, what's the word?
They agricultural death sentence. Hell,
That's what it is.
'cause that's all they giving us.
But we go to these stores and we buy, our foods from them, our greenery, our greens, our lima beans and stuff. They're making the money right now, but that's who we were. We knew how and when to plant seed,
Right.
when to pluck it from the stalks. We understood all that.
So what you saying
We
is
taught them.
We taught them.
So what you saying is that they didn't wait for someone else to grow it and then go be and then go purchase it without even trading something that they already grew. Like our people today don't have nothing.
Nothing.
If it wasn't Kroger's, matter of fact, in the city they got what they call food deserts all over the city.
Yep, all over the city.
Yep.
But if you pay attention to the our family members that came up during the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they ain't used to the supermarket like that. Right. They didn't go to the supermarket for all of their needs when it came to eating. They went to their backyards.
Right.
The supermarket was their backyard. Snap peas, green beans, corn, all of that
Yeah,
stuff.
like what you talking about, the 40s.
Yeah, they
30s.
basically they did all of those things, the agriculture themselves, and fed themselves off of the land, the little land that they had. Now, we don't know nothing about that. That's why I gotta go back to the country, man.
Man,
I gotta go back to the country, man. I ain't no city guy, man. I'm gonna be there one day, Lord bless me, man. Hey, but it's also written in Daniel. Get Daniel 1 real quick.
Yeah.
The first chapter, Daniel 1, and then read verse 4.
Yep.
Because they did the same thing. That's the reason why the spirit of these nations don't change. All spirit don't change. We act and deal with God the same way, going against him. You know what I'm saying? Going against him, and through idolatry, things we idolize in these heathen nations, they still have a perpetual hatred against us. They still at one with being keeping us destroyed and on the bottom of society. These are same spirits. Read what you got.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Come on.
Children, in whom was no blemish, but well favored.
See that? Just like you said, he picked the tallest one, the one with the fair skin. Read.
And skillful. In all wisdom.
Read.
And cunning in the knowledge.
You remember Solomon, King Solomon, he had the best wisdom and understanding out of everybody on the face of the earth. That was a black man right there. Who you think taught people how to be civil and create civilization? Read on.
and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
I'm going to tell you, if you take the wisdom of the black man out of America, America would diminish overnight.
That's right.
All of the science, the nuclear warheads and all that stuff, guess what? It's black minds, black architects that they're utilizing the wisdom from to create these things. The astronaut being able to go to space. Black people behind that.
Right.
So on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So this thing that we're reading is nothing new. Read on.
In whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans.
So just like now, we've been taught what we speak today, which is English, Northern Kingdom Spanish, from the Spaniards. These are the things that's going to continue to happen if we don't open up our understanding, our eyes, and serve the God that we supposed to serve, the one true God.
Right.
The God of Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
You had something else on
But
that.
yeah, I wanted to touch something about the video because they were talking about the nuclear warheads and all of the missiles and all the weaponry that they have, America and Russia.
Right, you got a whole race war.
A whole war, a race war, right? And our people, we sleep on these things, right? Because our people, they too busy in the clubs, or they too busy, they sitting up in the churches and they praying for peace, right? But look at what the Bible says. Give me 1 Thessalonians 5 and start at verse 2. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. Let's see what the Bible says about peace. Come on.
It's the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
He said it's going to come as like a thief in a night, right? He's going to catch you slipping, right? You ain't going to know when it hit you, but read.
For when they shall say peace and safety.
So when you sitting up in them churches and you praying for peace, you praying for this, right? Lord, please don't let the war happen, right? But read.
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Then what?
And sudden destruction cometh upon them.
God said that sudden destruction gonna come upon you like that thief in the night. Read.
As travaileth upon a woman with child.
Like a woman that's travailing with a child. As the contractions get closer, it's coming, right? Read.
And they shall not escape.
And God said you ain't gonna escape. Give me Sirach 40 and 13. Right? Give me Sirach 40 and 13. This is that destruction. This is that thief in the night that the Bible talks about. Read that.
Here's the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 13.
Come on.
The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river.
God said the goods of the unjust going to be dried up like a river. America going to be dried up like a river. Europe and Russia going to be dried up like a river. Read.
And shall vanish with noise.
It shall vanish with what?
With noise.
God said it's going to vanish with a great noise like what?
Like a great thunder.
Like a great thunder. Like when you're sitting up in your house and you're watching TV and all of a sudden you hear that loud noise. Boom. Right? That's that thief in the night. Right? Read it again.
The goods of the unjust shall be dried up like a river.
All of these places that our people love so much, America and all these different places, right? God said that it's going to be dried up like a river. It ain't going to be no more. Read.
And shall vanish with great noise.
And he said it's going to vanish like a great noise. Trump, all of these nations going to vanish like a great noise. Read.
Like a great thunder in rain.
Like a great thunder in rain. So what Bible are you reading in church? Right? Our people don't foresee these things, or they just got the blinders on and they don't want to see them. Right? Give me Proverbs. One more.
Hey, hold on. Before you leave that, it's go to verse 8. Go to verse 8 real quick. Because they're going into the topic of the class. Read what you got.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 40 and verse 8. Such things happen unto all flesh.
So it's going to come upon a time where something is going to happen to all flesh that's on the earth. Read.
Both man and beast. And that is sevenfold more upon sinners.
So it says it's going to be sevenfold more upon the sinners. That's the people that's occupied in the church clapping their hands. This little light of mine. The Lord is going to let that nuclear fire shine. Read on.
Death and bloodshed.
It says what's going to happen? Death
and bloodshed.
And bloodshed. Read.
Strife and sword. Calamity. Famine.
that's what we going over. That's what the class is going over. Death, tribulation, famine, so on and so forth. Read.
Tribulation and the scourge.
And the scourge is going to come eventually for you Negroes that don't want to repent and hearken to the words of the prophets. Read on.
These things are created for the wicked.
God said, specifically ordained the creation of these things for the wicked.
Right. Read. And for the saints came the flood.
And what?
And for their sakes came the flood.
Which showing you right now, the same spirits back in the time of Noah has reoccupied the earth.
That's right.
And the Lord is going to kill them with death, bloodshed, sword, calamities, and famine, and tribulation, and scourge. It's going to happen again because the same people is in America.
Hey, Christ.
It is what it is. Get what you going to get. You were going to get something else, man.
Because you said a lot, right? Give me Proverbs, what is it? Proverbs 27 and 19.
Y'all ain't knock on the table?
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 19. Well, all of that stuff going on, right? Our people still cannot see. They still can't open their eyes up and see what's going on. Read that.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 19. Come on. As in water, face answereth to face.
Verse 12, my bad.
Verse 12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil.
I said a prudent man foreseeth evil. Right? He paying attention to what's going on. He see this evil coming. Right? Read.
And hideth himself.
He hideth himself. I'll read.
But the simple pass on.
But the simple that's sitting up in these churches, you pass on. Right? You're not paying attention to the famines that's going on in the earth. The wars that's about to pop off in the earth. You're not paying attention to what's going on because why? You're too busy still thinking they believing in this white man Jesus and praying for peace and safety. And God said that war is coming upon the face of the earth.
And voting.
And voting.
Believing in politics.
Right. Read.
And are punished.
And are punished. Why? Because you're not paying attention to what's going on, and therefore you're gonna be caught just like a thief in the night. You're going to be caught just like a thief in the night when them bombs drop.
Hey, that was late, man. You brought some fire, man. That brother ain't playing, man. Stand down for what? That's just the first video, ain't it?
Yeah. That's it.
Hey, let's cook up the second video, man. What we got next? Man? I'm in a whole nother segment. What we got next? I was going to pull a scripture, man. I ain't even going to pull it no more. That man came with some straight lake of fire around this junk, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it right there. Go ahead on and cue that up, man. Play that one time for the 99 and the 2000.
Pandemic. Bill Gates and the World Health Organization have announced when we will see the next pandemic, and they have a date for us. So get this on your calendar. Prepare, plan your trips around this next pandemic right now. We'll have more on that in a second and the dates. But you'll remember Bill Gates and the World Health Organization previously held what was known as the 2001 event, Event 201. And it was about the Event 201 exercise. It was a simulation involving a coordinated global response to a coronavirus that they held in a simulation just months before COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. So they're pretty good at predicting this stuff. I don't know how they pull this off.
Fauci, remember? Fauci told Trump in 2017, not that there could be, not that there might be, but there would be a pandemic during his presidency.
Yes.
Yeah, and Obama ran exercises for it during his presidency.
During his pregnancy.
During his presidency, too.
At the womb factory.
So they've just gotten together and they're doing it again now. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security and the World Health Organization. I wish I was making this up, but this is not a conspiracy theory. They did this.
Wicked as hell.
And they just conducted their next pandemic tabletop exercise in Belgium. It's called the Catastrophic Contagion. Hey, honey, where are you going this weekend? I'm going to Belgium. I got a conference. Oh, yeah, what's it about? It's called the Catastrophic Contagion event. Oh, what are you guys going to be doing? Oh, we're just planning the next pandemic. Just getting everything ready. Getting everything ready and locked up. And the new virus and vaccines. We'll have vaccines ready to go because that's how we do this. We plan it, and then we, of course, have the vaccines ready to go. So this is the video that Bill Gates put together, along with the team, complete with simulated news reports like this. This is really what they're preparing for us. This video is called Get Ready. Watch. Catastrophic contagion, a global challenge. Breaking news.
Two Latin American countries alerted the WHO of several outbreaks of a new infectious disease that's mysteriously appearing across the region. Severe epidemic enterovirus respiratory syndrome.
So, you see the name of this? Seers. Hey, you see that?
Yeah.
They prophesied the next pandemic. Wow. But when you read in the scriptures,
it's already there.
Listen, man. Listen, the Lord, I'm telling you, bro, the Lord is a mastermind. Then at the bottom, they said this is a fictional scenario.
Nah, it ain't.
This ain't nothing fiction. Hey, you can kill that. You can cancel that. But it just was an eye opener. Get that in 2 Kings. No. Give me Deuteronomy real quick before you go to 2 Kings. 2 Kings 17, I think. But Deuteronomy, what it is that I want. No, it ain't Deuteronomy. Choose ye this day, life or death.
Deuteronomy
30:19. Yeah, I was going into
There's
this
a few
thing.
of them.
Yeah, it is a couple of
5 and 30, I think.
Yeah, 5 and 30. Get 30 and start with 19. All right.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So the Lord told us to choose life. Choose these laws, statutes, and commandments. Or death. Guess what? We're choosing to be under the supervision of society, which all people go and vote for these president or candidate, so they make they boast in trusting in man. This is what you get when you read in history where the children of Israel asked for a king over them because they idolized the other nations having kings over them. The Lord told them the stipulations through Samuel of what the king was going to have the people to do.
Right.
Guess what? They still went against the Lord. They said, we still want a king over us. The Lord said, listen, hearken to them. Give them what they want.
Give them what they want.
And it's the same thing that we're going through today. So we're going to cue up the next segment, but we're going to come back with this same picture up. We don't need the video. We just want the same picture after this next segment. So we're going to go right into the next segment. Go ahead on. Cue the next segment up.
We'll be back.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Hey, shalom. Hey, this is the segment that we call the Hell No segment. All right? So we're going to cue up this video with Omar Gooding, Cuba Gooding's Jr. little brother. All right? He said that he wants justice for false accusations against blacks and Hispanics. Huh? Yes, sir. Play that video.
You gotta put it over to the side.
Pull it over so everybody can see it.
What I want them to start doing is persecuting the accuser. I'm just saying, there's got to be some consequence. You couldn't just be able to just charge somebody with an allegation and then just go scot-free. Oh, never mind, drop the charges, I'll go back to my life. And I was anonymous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now you can kind of profit off of that.
Yo, my brother did, like, breaking news. Cuba Gooding Jr. in the news for doing some oh, and all the newscasters and shit, like, we have footage. There it is. And they showed the footage. This nigga was sitting in the chair next to his girlfriend, which I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I thought he was married. I thought that was some gangster shit. And some woman just sat next to him, and he said, yeah. And then she got up and left. And then cut back to the news anchors, and they were like, unbelievable. I was like, nigga, what the f*** we just see? Damn. I was like, can't wait to see what the charges are. Must be like rape or doing some crazy shit. He said, involuntary touching. Yeah. And I said, what the f*** does that mean? But if you touch a woman and she wasn't ready for it or some shit, I said, well, nigga, what? You could lock everybody up that I know.
Hey, yeah, he got a point, bro.
Right, he got a point. Right, but see, that's how they do us, right? And it's a scripture, but I can't think of it. Like, ungodly men always dig up evil, right? They always want to go on out pass when we do something, but they never want to do they never want to put their stuff out there, put their business out there, right? They make these laws or whatever to keep us down as a people. Well, read that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame of mischief by a law?
This man frames mischief by laws, right? They make these laws, right? They make laws, but these laws don't pertain unto them, right? They make these laws for you and I, right? Read.
They gathered themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood.
And they condemn the innocent blood, right? Read.
But the Lord is my defense.
But God said, I'm your defense. Don't worry, read.
And my God is the rock of my refuge.
Come on.
And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness.
Come on.
Yea, the Lord of God shall cut them off.
God said that he gonna cut them off, right? Give me Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. The book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Listen to what God says about these people.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Read.
Woe unto them!
Woe unto them, right? Destruction unto them. Read.
That decree unrighteous decrees.
That decree unrighteous decree, right? A decree is what? An order, right? An order that they put out, or a law, right? Read it again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Read.
Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Woe unto them that make these unrighteous decrees, right? These laws that pertain unto us to keep us down as a people. Read.
And that write grievousness, which they have prescribed.
And they write these things, they prescribe these things specifically for us, right? That's why you see so many of us fill the jail cells, right? That's why you see so many single parent households. That's why you see so much crime going on in our neighborhood, because they prescribe these things for us. They prescribe these things for the black man and the black woman, the Hispanic man and the Hispanic woman. And then they throw you in jail, and they commit all these things and hold themselves not guilty. Give me that. You know what I want. Zechariah 11 and 5. The book of Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. This is what God says that these people do. But our people love these people, right? And we trust in these people. The scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. Read.
It's the book of Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5.
Come on.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
They slayed who? Sandra Bland. What's some more of them names?
Tamir Rice.
Tamir Rice.
Fernando Castillo.
All of these names.
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown's, all of them. And they hold themselves not guilty.
They just slayed a brother. We don't know his name yet, but they just killed. The police just jumped him on a camera, and he eventually died the next day.
Right, and they giving them a not guilty verdict, right? A not guilty verdict. Read it again.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5.
Come on.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
Read.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Right, read. Give me Isaiah 29:15. Come on. The book of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 15.
Oh, okay.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
Woe unto you that seek deep to hide your counsel from the Lord, right? He talking about you ones that make these laws, right? To try to hide under the laws, right? Read it again.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
Come on.
And their works are in the dark.
They do these things in the dark, right? Read.
And they say, who seeth us?
They say, who seeth us? They do these things in the dark. And a lot of them, they get with your pastors. A lot of them, they get with your community leaders and do these things in the dark. Because they in agreement with that. Read.
And who knoweth us?
Read it again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. And their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us?
They say who seeth us and who knoweth us, but God see it, right? You can't hide nothing from God. Listen to what God said he gonna do though. Give me Isaiah. Give me chapter 42 and 13. Start at 13.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 13. Read. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man.
God said that he gonna go forth as a mighty man. Read.
He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
Like a man of who?
Like a man of war.
Read.
He shall cry.
He shall do what?
He shall cry.
Come on.
Yea, roar.
And he gonna roar. Read.
He shall prevail against his enemies.
God said that he gonna prevail against his enemies. Those same enemies that you read in Psalms chapter 83. Read.
I have long time holding my peace.
God said, I have long time been holding my peace. Read.
I have been still and refrain myself.
God said I had to be still and refrain myself because God want to come in and tear this man up for all of the things that he done to his people. But he gotta let the scriptures come to pass. Read.
Now will I cry like a travailing woman?
God said there's gonna come a day he gonna cry like a travailing woman. Right? These things gonna come upon them like sudden destruction. Read.
And will destroy and devour at once.
God said that he gonna devour and destroy all of them at once. So all we gotta do is sit back and keep the commandments, because God said he coming. All right? And with that, hey, there was another Hell No segment.
Hey, I'm just gonna first start off by saying, hey, bro, you was on fire for that damn segment, that man came with that fire. The reader, I'm up in Texas. I'm like, damn, officer going in, man. The reader going in. That's that energy right there, man. Y'all got me, hey. You gotta scream out sometime, man. For real, man. Hey, but play that, not play, but move that back over to the other screen, the Seers. Because that's where we ended at, the Seers. Now get 1 Samuel 9 and verse 9, and then we're going to go to 2 Kings 17. To show you what we was called in the old days, and then what our mission was to do. Read that in 1 Samuel 9, verse 9.
It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9 and verse 9. Before a time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come, and let us go to the seer.
Let us go to who?
Let us go to the seer.
Now the Lord put Bill Gates and the whole entourage that's backing him, with him not being nowhere near in the medical field. He's not a doctor whatsoever, but they create these things in the future to what? To combat the population of the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. It touched the Caucasians or whatever the case may be. That's why they speak out on it. But it's targeted towards depopulation towards us. Just like the time in Egypt in Exodus 1. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's the same exact thing. The Lord, if we read, that's the reason why the scriptures in Romans said whatsoever was written aforetime for our learning. Even Trump said, if you don't pay attention to history, history will have its way of repeating itself somehow. Read on.
For he that is now called a prophet was before a time called a seer.
So now that we understand that the prophets was before time called a seer. Now get that in 2 Kings 17 verse 1 to show you what was the job of a seer. To see things, to prophesy the things that was going to come in the future, just like they're trying to do. This is the person that's on earth that call themselves God. That's concocting animal DNA, slicing human DNA, and formulating a concoction for death. And the Lord putting that spirit on them to do that, to get us to simply wake up, to understand that he is evil, he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, and that we need to wake up into the true understanding of who he is and what God we actually serve. But read that.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah.
No, verse 11.
Verse 11. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and worked wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger.
So now we're doing the same thing in America. We have provoked our God to anger. He's angry with us. All the death and destruction and things that's going on, the pestilence, all of the storms, the earthquakes, all of these things is going and ordained by the Lord.
That's right.
Read on.
For they serve idols, whereof the Lord has said unto them, ye shall not do this thing.
And that's what we do. We go out and tell them, hey, the white man is the devil that the Bible speak of. That's Caesar Borgia. That is not Jesus the Christ. The angels are black. God is black. Christ is black. The prophets is black. Everybody is that's of no ability. Noble men, they were men of prestige and they were black. Read on.
Yet the Lord testified against Israel.
Just like he doing today. Read.
And against Judah. By all the prophets. And by all the seers.
And he prophesied by all. He's putting his word in us so we can warn the people. He did it with Ezekiel. He did it with Daniel. He did it with Jeremiah. He did it with the prophets. Read on.
Saying, turn ye from your evil ways.
And that's what we go out there and do. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Read on.
And keep my commandments.
And keep the commandments. Keep the Sabbath day. Because the Christian pastor ain't telling you to keep the Sabbath day. He tell you the Sunday is the first day. I mean, Sunday is the 7th day of the week and not the first day. The Christian pastor ain't telling you, hey, you got to dress modest. Hey, the women can't teach. Hey, listen, you got to have a beard on your face. Hey, listen, you can't have no boyfriend. Listen, you cannot celebrate Christmas in a representative, trying to represent that this has something to do with Christ. Read on.
And my statutes according to all the law, which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants, the prophets.
By my servants, the seers. So you can take our word, because we're coming from God's word, as the seers foreseeing the damage and destruction that's prophesied against this kingdom. Or you can deal with the seers of who you voted for.
Right.
Your oppressors. You have life or death to simply choose from. All right, what's the next video, man?
Hey, just to piggyback off what you said, because
not piggyback,
I mean,
but turkey back, lamb back. There ain't somebody back other than the pig.
There you go. But a lot of our people, like you said, they're in agreement with this stuff. A lot of these politicians, right? A lot of these people that's in these high places, they in agreement with this stuff. And it's serious. Hey, we see those things and we foresee those things as well. That you in agreement with it. Give me 2 Chronicles 19:2 real quick.
Yeah. You can believe us, you can trust us not. What do we really have to gain on warning you?
Right.
Yeah.
We ain't gaining that. We ain't getting paid. We actually losing money.
Right. Read.
It's the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 19 and verse 2.
Read.
And Jehu, the son of Hananiah, the seer.
The who?
The seer.
Come on.
Went out to meet him.
Read.
And said to the king, Jehoshaphat.
And said to you, like, hey, bring it up to date to your mayors and your governors, right? The senators that's in agreement with this. Read.
Shouldest thou help the ungodly?
You gonna help the ungodly? Come on.
And love them that hate the Lord.
You help the ungodly and you love those that hate the Lord, because these people hate the Lord. How do they hate the Lord? They hate his people. They hate his laws, right? Read.
Therefore, it's wrath upon thee from before the Lord.
God said wrath gonna come upon you before the Lord. Those of you that's join hand in hand with this man for the destruction for your own people.
Let me get one, man. Let me get one, because look, what they saying is just so on point. Because look, we've always had somebody to see, to foretell what was gonna happen to our people. And what else can we call? We can call them saviors. Let's go to Nehemiah 9:27. Book of Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 27. Because those people, those brothers, which are our kinfolk, who were doing those acts, who was warning the people, they were considered saviors among our people, because they warned and some people hearkened and a lot of people didn't. Read that.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9 and verse 27. Therefore, thou deliverest them into the hand of their enemies.
That's what happened to us. We were delivered to the hand of our enemies. Go ahead.
Who vexed them. And in the time of their trouble, when thou cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven. And according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors.
Gave us what?
Saviors. Who saved them out of the hand of their enemies.
So it's the Most High God that we got to depend on. We can't be depending on this nation or segments of this nation to deliver us up out of the hand of our enemies. We have saviors right now.
Let him come. Yeah, they starting the war.
Yeah, they are starting the war, and you think America is the place.
You praying for peace, and meanwhile, the person that you praying to stop the war is starting the war.
Behind the scenes.
Right.
Yep. So guess what you ought to do out this land? Give me that in Revelation chapter 18 to verse 4. Guess what you should do,
man.
You know, this is the place of judgment right here. So what God say? Read what you
It's
got.
the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Come up out of her. Come up out of her. Babylon the great whore. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That you be not partakers of her sins. Go ahead.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
And that you receive none of what?
Of her plagues.
None of these plagues that we've been seeing right now that's coming to this land and that are already here. So we don't want to receive this, so we got to come up out of the way of this great whore, America. You understand?
You gonna learn today. Don't nobody want a mother as a whore. But meanwhile, we love to choose the ways of America, and she is the filthiest whore that's ever known to mankind.
Look, this is how you know she filthy. Because when you go to other places, they don't even accept a lot of America's ways. Our women over here can't act like they act over here over in these other lands.
Hey, we ain't even got to talk about their ways in regards to how the women and men act. Certain countries don't even use the same ingredients.
Yeah.
Let alone you talking about policy when it goes towards with people. They don't use certain ingredients for the food that America uses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In certain countries, man. When I went to Trinidad and Tobago, you know, I like to go, you know, if I go to KFC, I ain't gonna eat nothing but the biscuits. And I like the bread.
Yeah.
You know, and I like a little honey with it.
Exactly.
Man, I went over, bro, listen, I went over there and I was like, yeah, you know, let me get 2 biscuits. And I said, yeah, you know, give me some, you know, give me a bag. I'm like, oh yeah, give me some honey. They was like, oh, we don't do honey over here. I'm like, damn, so y'all don't sell honey or nothing? They was like, nah, we don't have those ingredients. The ingredients in America is not the same ingredients that we have over here in Trinidad and Tobago.
You know why? Because that ain't real honey they give you.
Man, it ain't real honey. Right,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? For them to give us honey in these other countries, they may rather give us what's good, what's actual.
Right.
Because real honey costs some money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the thing,
me myself, I don't use no real honey. I use real honey.
Come on,
Straight from the hive.
Straight from the hive.
Come on, bro. You got a hive behind your house.
Behind my house.
Hey, but when you go into preservatives and GMO and all that stuff, man, they look at you crazy over there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All that hot dogs and bologna, man, they will look at you crazy as hell upside your head. You go to talking like that, man. So they're and all of them look young.
Yeah.
Brother look like he 21, man. I call him 41, 21. He was like, officer, you know I'm really 43. I said, man, get out my face, man. I don't want to talk about that no more, man. This man looking 20-something. He telling us about really 43, man. But hey, that goes into the food that they feed us, man. It's killing us, man. It's aging us. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, arthritis, you know, all the and all the arthritis. We got all of them, diseases, everything, man. You know what I'm saying? But go cue that next video up, man.
Nearly 5 years after the COVID-19 outbreak, China may now have a mystery virus on the prowl. According to reports, China has been battling an outbreak of human metapneumovirus, or HMPV. What is known about it? How dangerous is it? As per the information available so far, HMPV causes symptoms similar to influenza as well as COVID-19. However, unlike the two, it currently does not have any corresponding vaccine. How concerning is that?
Hold on. That's crazy.
Hey, listen though, the Most High jacket goddamn boy had been aiming up, bro. He started. Hey, you remember they used to do that in Africa? They always used to formulate these diseases and then go try them on Africa. They started all the diseases in China. As Trump would say it, man. It's a China disease, man. But go ahead.
We can't get this type of news out here in America.
No, bro.
We can't get this in America.
You finna get something censored.
You got to go find this type of news.
Yeah.
What they call it, the
world news.
Global world news.
Yeah.
You can't turn it on, put it on channel 13, 5, 3, and 10 and find this information. You ain't gonna find this. you got to go to other regions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a must. It's a must we do that.
Yeah.
So don't be sleep out here thinking America is your great help, because they ain't telling you everything you need to know. Go ahead.
But just like they mentioned with the by 2025 is going to be a new variant of a disease coming.
Mm-hmm.
Here go China with the HMSP or whatever, you know what I'm saying, they call it, or whatever the case may be.
With no vaccine.
With no vaccines. They already, and you know they got the vaccines already. They got the vaccine. They gonna have them. They gonna start off saying, oh, no, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Oh, yeah, we came up with a cure in 24 hours.
It's been proven that if they got the virus, they got the vaccine.
Oh, yeah, boy, they got the pattern.
Because they got a patent. You said they got a patent.
Yeah, they gotta have a patent to it, man. But play on.
Let's first tell you more about what is known. According to experts, HMPV infections rose in mainland China over the past few days. In the northern province in China, reportedly the infection rate has shown an upward trend. On Friday, China's Diseases Control Authority said that it was piloting a monitoring system for pneumonia, whose origin is unknown as of now. The Chinese medical body reportedly also said that cases of some respiratory diseases are expected to rise through the winter.
So through the winter. All right, that's it on that. Yeah, so that's gonna be one of the new releases of the planned demic that's gonna come up. Cause I don't want to say too much and they censor, and then this whole video, you know, go to waste, man. Cause they wanna, you know, start something. Hey, play that next video. Play the next video, man. So here you got pestilence in the earth. We went into the war race where America is #1 with 5,000 nuclear warheads. Russia comes in second behind them with roughly about 3,000 to 4,000, and then China comes in third. All these nations, man, they planning mass destruction. So because they know that's where the world power sits. But cue that next video up. And this is happening right underneath the nose of the Americans that's clueless to what's going on. Yeah, that article. Yep. Go scroll up, maximize it. All right, scroll up to the date. Start up where it says the date we have provided. So this is U.S. Secretary Corporation of Ukraine. Yes, sir. Start right there. Read that. All right.
To date, we have provided $65.9 billion in military assistance since Russia launched its premeditated, unprovoked, and brutal full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
So this is how America just lied. Talking about it's premeditated and unprovoked. America, you know you trying to go over there in Ukraine and set up in these folks' land to go and combat against Russia. Russia ain't having it. But you're gonna put it in the to the eyes of the public. Oh, it's premeditated and it's unprovoked, brutal, full-scale invasions of the Ukraine. Man, come on, man, stop it. And that's how they do all nations, man, when they want something or they trying to invade their country. Read on.
On February 24, 2022.
So this $65 billion came in February of 2022.
And approximately $69.2 billion in military assistance since Russia's initial invasion of Ukraine in 2014.
So between 2014 and 22, you have 69.2 plus $65.9 billion that went toward the Ukraine war against Russia. Now, I thought America was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yeah, all lit.
I thought they owed other countries like China.
Right. Yeah.
Where the hell is all 40 acres in the moon for each American? That the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans? So they do have, because when every president candidate comes into office or that's running for a president to be the president, the next president, reparations for the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans somehow comes into the picture, but they never give thought to give us our reparation. But you mean to tell me you got between 2014-22, you got $1 trillion?
Yeah, they said giving to all of us that they're supposed to have it will bankrupt them. No, it won't.
Man, come on, stop it, man. Well, give us something, damn it.
Yeah, give us that.
You know what? Don't even worry about it, man. We want the Lord.
Yeah, we gonna get it.
That's what the hell with your billions, the hell with your resources. We want the judgment of the Most High for this kingdom to come down swiftly and speedily.
That's right.
The hell is this? We don't want your money.
They can't pay us.
You can't pay us enough, man. We built everything. You will have to leave off the face of the earth in order to pay us.
Right.
But go down, read some of the little quotations of what they arming Ukraine with. Just pick one. You ain't got to go in sequential order. Just pick them. Just scroll down. Just scroll down. Just call them out, bro.
Avenger air defense systems. Vampire counter unmanned aerial system.
Now you black folks don't know what we naming and listing. I don't even know some of these things, but it has something to do with war. Yeah. And the Negro will say, "Man, let's pick up arms." What is a Stinger anti-Air Force missile, bro? Oh, I don't know how it look. I don't know, but you talking about your Glock 40?
Yeah, with the switch.
With 100-round drone?
With the switch.
With the switch?
Switches on, yeah.
We talking about missiles where they can touch, with the touch of a button, they can shoot it to the black community and blow y'all the hell up.
Man.
They showed it to you doing 1920s with the Tulsa Ride.
And look, and if they don't want to destroy the whole community, they got the vampire counter unmanned aerial system. You know what I'm saying?
What is that, man?
Man, what is that? They gonna come in there with a drone unmanned. The drone gonna kill itself and whoever
and you, man. Man, hey, bro, you better tell him, man. Hey, keep scrolling up, man.
Anti-aircraft guns and ammunition.
Hey, so anything in the air, Negroes can't even get off the ground, man.
No.
They got a 21 air surveillance radar. If you try to do something within the air with these high power guns that you have, man, it's over with, man. They got stuff that can stop your bullets, Negro.
21 air surveillance radar.
All right, scroll on up. I'll read it. It says more than 7,000 precision guided 155 millimeter artillery rounds.
Come on, man.
More than 100,000 rounds. Then you got 10,000 203 millimeter. All these rounds of ammunition. 400,000, 40,000, 40,000, 60,000 of Grad rockets.
Black man, your closet ain't big enough to hold all that ammo.
Man, we talking about rocket launchers. We talking about missiles. You got 1,000 mine-resistant ambush protectors.
Wow!
5,000 high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicles. Meaning they ain't behind the wheels.
Yeah.
These multi-purpose wheeled vehicles, meaning they got several wheels on them. 80 trucks and more than 200 trailers to transport heavy equipment. 29 armored bridging system.
Call all your boys you want to.
So guess what? If you got a certain landmass and it cut off and there's a lake or something that they have to pass, guess what? They got a bridging system to cross that.
Hold
up. A Scan Eagle, Ravens. Man, it's just so much,
Look,
man. That's enough. That's enough, man.
From the first three we read, it was destruction for the black man.
Already,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talking about with the gun, man. Man, stop playing with these white folk,
and they
man.
talking about going about some 223s.
Yeah, man, the Lord ain't finna play with y'all, man. Hey, give me that in Psalms. The Lord created this man to be the sword. What we got, one more minute? 30 seconds? I'm going to read this, and then we're going to cue up the next segment. Psalm 17:13, I think. Yeah, get that in Psalm 17:13. Read that.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down.
So we got to pray to the Lord to cast this man down. Because the Lord is the one that set him up. Read.
Deliver my soul from the wicked.
God said, listen, we got to pray to him so that we can have all soul delivered from the wicked that he set up to be the ruler of the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Read on.
Which is thy sword.
God's sword is the so-called white man in the earth. With the power that he possessed, God gave it to him, just like Pharaoh in the time of the Egyptian captivity. It is what it is, man. So we're going to cue up the next segment, Israel. We'll be right back with you. Shalom.
Hey, understand this. Understand this right here, y'all. Give me that in Romans 13:11. Let's start right there. And cue that video up right quick. Yeah, so understand this, man. Look, we are not in the land of our rest. We are in the civilization where we are hated. We are disliked. We are underestimated. We are undervalued. That's the position we are placed in right now, everybody. Read that.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
It is high time that we wake up out of the sleep that we've been in for a long time. You think these people are your friends. Let's play that video.
This NICU nurse was breaking the bones of these preemie babies for fun. This is 26-year-old Erin Stratman of Virginia. She has been charged with felony CA and malicious wounding. I'm seeing some articles say that she wounded 4 babies and some up to 7. So during November and early December, there were at least 4 babies with inexplicable wounds and fractures. It's been happening since 2023 apparently, and there have been up to at least 4 babies that had inexplicable wounds and breaking and fractures of bones that were in the same care as where this nurse was working when she was on shift. Now, parents of one of the babies who suffered at the hands of this nurse spoke out and said that they were heartbroken to discover that their preemie baby Noah suddenly couldn't move his leg in the hospital in September of 2023. They said it was kind of discolored. They told the doctor on staff that they got some x-rays and determined that he fractured his leg.
Look at this. Just look at a person don't care about a child. Do you think that this is possibly biblical? Oh, yes, it is. Deuteronomy chapter 28. This is biblical, people. You are among your enemies. The same people who brought you over here in slavery are your enemies. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. Read what you got.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
Start at verse 49. Let's start there and give them some understanding.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
So we was on the in Africa. A nation came from somewhere else to get us. Go ahead.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the what?
As the eagle flieth.
What's the symbol of this nation? You got it right. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
We couldn't understand what they were saying at the time. Go ahead.
A nation of fierce continents.
Of what?
Of fierce continents.
Your Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Your Rocky Balboas. Your John Cena's. Read on.
We shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They wouldn't do what?
Nor show favor to the young.
They wouldn't even show favor to your young. Oh yes, it's true. Most of those babies that was in that hospital that she was injuring were black babies.
Damn.
That's the truth. Now that has been on the that has been in social media for about a week and a half now. I was highly disturbed myself. That is an infant, can do nothing for itself. Finish reading that.
Is it?
Is it? Keep going.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
So that same enemy shall eat the what?
Eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Don't you know our people had many cattle over here when they came to this land? Go ahead.
And the fruit of thy land.
And the fruit of thy what?
Of thy land.
The fruit of thy cattle, meaning they're young, what they come with milk, cheese, all type of things. And the fruit of our land, what the beans, the rice, the corn. Go ahead.
Until thou be destroyed.
Until we what?
Until thou be destroyed.
We so destroyed right now, we think we are African American. We so destroyed right now, we think we black people. This nation right here of fierce countenance that have no regard of your young. They hate us. You understand? Give me that book of Psalms chapter 18. They hate us. Ain't no way around it. I mean, you should be able to see it right now. Who fill up the jail cells? We do. Oh, they hate your guts. Read that, Psalms 18 and verse 18.
It's the book of Psalms chapter 18 verse 18. They prevented me in the day of my calamity.
They did what?
They prevented me in the day of my calamity.
Go ahead.
But the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me.
So look, they prevented us in the day that we should have been delivered. They prevented our deliverance with what? Their ways, their sins. Ezekiel 35:3. Ain't that what I want?
Yeah, 35:3. Yeah.
Ezekiel 35 verse 3.
The ones that said they hate our guts.
Yes.
They hate our guts.
They don't want you to move forward. All their plan is to keep you down, keep you in sin, so they can stay above you and rule this earth. Read what you got.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 3. And say unto thee, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Read verse 5.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
So Mount Seir, which is the nation of Edom, have had a what?
A perpetual hatred.
They have had a perpetual hatred. You know perpetual means for everlasting. An for everlasting hatred. Read.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
They have shed the blood of the who?
Of the children of Israel.
Of those black babies that was in the hospital. That's who they shed the blood of. That's who they hurt. Read on.
By the force of the sword.
By the force of the sword, which means their power, which means the privilege that they have over us. One more scripture. Give me 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 27. Book of 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 27. And then give me that in Luke 1:68. Read that real quick.
It's the book of 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 27. Then he took his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead and offered him for a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was a great indignation against Israel.
There was a what?
A great indignation against Israel.
There was a great hatred against Israel. Go ahead.
And they departed from him and returned to their own land.
Get that in so that was, I'm sorry, I should have had you read up. That was the people of Moab. So it's not just who we are over here with that hate us, but the other nations hate us too. There was a great indignation of the children of Israel. Get that in Luke chapter 1, verse 6 to 8, and we'll close it in right there. Because guess what? Even though they hate us, we got a Savior. Read what you got.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. Not everybody. Go ahead.
For he hath visited and redeemed his people. And have raised up an horn of salvation for us.
He raised up a what?
Of a horn of salvation for us.
So Jesus Christ is a horn of salvation. What is a horn? If you take the horn off a rhino, he ain't as dangerous as he is. Go ahead.
In the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
So all the prophets spoke of him coming and being our Savior, our Redeemer, and doing what? Read on.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
So he should save us from our who?
Enemies.
From all of our enemies. People wake up. It's high time you wake up out of the sleep and realize that Christ has came so that we'll be saved from our enemies for the redemption and the evolution of the nation of Israel. Read on.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
From the hand of all that hate us. You see that? So yes, there is a people that still hate the children of Israel. That's why that's happening right now, what you just seen in those images. Understand this.
All right, we back, man. Hey, that was another segment of Understand This, man. Hey, all praise it, bruh. I wanted to say something so bad, you know what I'm saying? I just had to hold my peace. The scriptures speak on when to talk, you know, and know not to talk, you know what I'm saying? So I held my peace. Hey, real quick, get on Micah chapter 2 and verse 3. Because that's very disturbing, man. Like, why not break the bones of your own people that you look like? Why break the bones of all people as if we ain't went through enough? Mm-hmm. You know, get that. Start that off. Verse 1.
It's the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Woe to them.
No, Micah 3 and 1.
Well, it's the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob.
So it's speaking about the heads of Jacob, read.
And ye princes of the house of Israel.
The leaders, read.
Is it not for you to know judgment?
To the Lord, hey, don't you supposed to know judgment? Don't you supposed to set the people in order according to the laws that I gave you, read?
Who hate the good?
He said, who hate the good?
And love the evil.
And love evil, read.
Who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones.
So you see what the Lord is having to happen to the nation of Israel. Read on.
Who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones.
And what?
And they break their bones.
So we've been having our bones broken. The Lord let this stuff happen to us so that we can see and figure out what we need to do to get back right. Now jump over to verse 10.
Verse 10. They built up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity.
So he's going into talking about the priests. You know what I'm saying? When you read Ezekiel, it'll show you that all people was in the land. They was the priests and so on and so forth, and they was doing all type of abominable acts in the temple of God. Read on.
The heads thereof judge for reward.
See that he finna say the other one, man. They judge for how? They judge for reward. That's what the pastor's doing today. It's talking about the same people. They basically came back and they got the same spirit on them. Read.
And the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? No evil can come upon us.
And guess what? That's what they believe in. They think the Lord is blessing them and that there is going to be peace in America for them. Read on.
Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field.
So you see what God said. Back then, all people was wicked. The priests that was set up. Who that was? Ezekiel's son, Samuel's son. Right. Yeah, they was in the priestly hood doing. They're supposed to be doing the priestly operations of offering up sacrifices for the sin of the people. They sleeping with the women. Right. They taking bribes. So on and so forth. Eli's sons. Yeah. So it's the same thing, man, with the Christian pastor. So people ask us, man, why y'all always going against the Christian church? Why y'all always setting up topics that go against Christianity? This is the reason why, right here in Micah. Read on.
And Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountains of the house as the high places of the forest.
It says all places gonna become heaps, like a mountains in the high places. You know, you get a heap of coal, burning ashes, and it's higher than a mountain. God said he was gonna plow down Zion off of the simple fact that the priest is judging for money and divine for money and higher. They don't see no wrong. They ain't setting it to where the people see their sins, and it's going to deliver us all from this captivity that we're currently in. So that's the reason why we going hard against the church. That's the reason why we're the seers. That's the reason why we prophesying that the destruction is coming to America. That's the reason why we do videos and segments like we do, so we can help you understand the Bible to know that destruction is currently on its way. It's already brewing up. It's already in effect. All right, so cue that next video up. That just was a little sidebar. I don't know where it came from. I promise you I don't.
Spirit off.
I don't know where it came from. The fire in L.A. Yeah, the fire in L.A.
The death toll is increasing tonight in Southern California. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. We're learning now at least 11 people are confirmed dead. 5 separate wildfires rage across Los Angeles right now. At least 180,000 people have been forced to evacuate as the fires have scorched a combined 35,000 acres. The death toll is expected to rise. ABC's Alex Stone is in Altadena tonight.
He's live with more on the firefight and the absolute devastation left behind. Alex, so many people have just lost everything.
They have lost everything, Chris and Lauren. In fact, just a moment ago, there was a family that somehow got in beyond the roadblock, and they came by quite emotional. They just looked at their childhood home down this street. Everything on this street completely gone. These homes, there is nothing left. There's a basketball hoop there, but cars burned out. Just nothing left in these homes as firefighters are trying to put out the flames. National Guard troops now patrolling the streets in Los Angeles to help enforce evacuation orders. A 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for the Eaton Fire and Palisades fire areas to prevent looting as the city deals with catastrophic wildfires.
We're not doing this to inconvenience anybody. We're doing it to protect the structures, the houses that people have left.
The fires, which have devastated Los Angeles neighborhoods on the east and west sides of the city, have destroyed over 10,000 buildings, with those figures expected to grow.
We found out through word of mouth yesterday.
That's enough on that. Hey, go to the prep page and pull up that last posted document that I sent at 8:46. So you got wildfires, you know, they blazing up, you know what I'm saying, L.A. down there, man, on the West Coast. But this is the, hold on, go back into the what you call. And this is one of the cities that the water reservoir is in L.A. that burned down. Read that. Palisade.
Reservoir in Pacific Palisades was out of commission when fire started.
So it's just by coincidence when the fire started out there in the West Coast in L.A. in this particular city in Palisade, how did the water reservoir mysteriously become cut off?
You don't find that suspicious?
Go ahead, scan on up.
You don't find that suspicious?
Hold on, go read that right there.
You don't find that
very suspicious, man. You know, you got the pandemic and you got the planned fires.
California Governor Gavin Newsom called for an investigation into the water supply troubles and the reservoir's lack of availability.
So why would he call it a whole investigation? Go ahead, read on.
A 117 million gallon reservoir in one of the Los Angeles communities ravaged by wildfires was out of commission when the fire started in the area on Tuesday. The Santa Ynez Reservoir in the Pacific Palisades has been closed for repairs after a covering designed to preserve water quality tore. The Los Angeles Times first reported that the reservoir was offline.
Oh, so why you just can't click the button and turn it back online?
Right.
You know, read on.
The reservoir status may have limited the water system's ability to provide consistent pressure for firefighters. But Marta Adams, a former general manager of the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, said it was unlikely to have made a significant difference in the battle against the Palisades fire, which burned through 20,000 acres as of Friday afternoon.
So that reservoir could have possibly stopped 5,000 of those 20,000 acres that was destroyed by the fire.
Right.
But you can't sit there and say, oh, well, that water, you know, and that reservoir, it wasn't going to have a significant difference in the battle against the Palisade. It's right there in the Palisade.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should be utilized for the fire, putting the people, because the tax dollar go towards these reservoirs. So you can't save the tax dollars, the taxpayers' houses that fund the reservoirs. So, hey, man, I ain't saying nothing. And I ain't saying something at the same time.
No.
I'm just saying.
It's just suspicious. Sound like what you saying.
Listen, I'm just saying.
It's a setup, bro.
Hey, listen, I ain't saying nothing, but I ain't saying something. I'm just saying.
So
bro.
it sounds like they said they got the water there. They just couldn't move it out.
Well, it wasn't gonna be a significant difference
Yeah,
anyway.
well, that's what they say.
Yeah. You know. All right. So go to the next article, man. Oh yeah.
Can I get a script? Yeah, can I get a script on that?
Do your thing,
Do that
man.
in Daniel chapter 2. Daniel chapter 2 and verse
I had something in Exodus
43. Start at verse 42. Because look, the scriptures say a nation against itself it cannot stand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This was prophesied by our forefather Daniel. Read what you got.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
So this was the great statue that Daniel seen, and it was at the foot now. The foot represented the last kingdom that was going to be standing, people. Read on.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with murky clay.
So this last kingdom was not, it wasn't solid iron. It was mixed with clay, meaning there was a mixture of people. Go ahead.
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
So this kingdom had mingled itself with the seed of men. So it wasn't all just one people of one nation. They were mixed. This kingdom was a mixture. As to say, they call America the great melting pot.
That's right. But they shall not cleave one to another.
So everybody wasn't going to be in agreement here. Go ahead.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed.
Hold on. So in verse 43, to let you know that the kingdom can't stand if it's against itself. It won't happen. Why? Because there's no power in that. If you got a company and you closing the doors at 7 o'clock and somebody coming and open them at 8, what's going to happen? Something's going to go wrong.
He ain't lying.
So that's exactly what's happening right here. If somebody set that up, if that was a setup, which is pretty much sound like that's what it was. Because how's the reservoirs all of a sudden offline?
Hey, bro,
Somebody
I ain't
did that.
saying nothing, but I'm saying something, but I ain't gonna say nothing, bro.
sir.
I'm just saying.
Somebody did that. And they couldn't cut it back online either? I don't know about that.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
I don't know
get
about
Exodus,
that.
get Exodus 3 real quick. Because all people don't be looking at stuff spiritually, man. We got to look at this Bible spiritually, man. Get 3 and start with verse 2. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 2.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 2. And the angel of the Lord.
And who?
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush.
Hold on, didn't they say that's how the fire started down there in L.A.? The humidity, in the atmosphere became very dry and dense, and pulled all of the oxygen or whatever out of the atmosphere and started the fire.
That's what they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
What they said, man.
So all people ain't looking at this stuff spiritually. Here it is. The Lord said He sent the angel to appear in a flame of fire in the midst of a bush. Read on.
And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
So back then, at this particular time, to let you know there's a spirit when it comes to fire, it didn't consume this bush. Read on.
And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight. Why the bush is not burnt.
So this puzzled the mind of Moses. He said, why the bush ain't burning and it's supposed to be consumed by fire? Read.
And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here am I. And he said, draw not nigh hither. Put off thy shoes from off thy feet. For the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
Because Moses was trained in the philosophy of the Egyptian understanding and wisdom. Read.
Moreover, he said, I am the God.
Just like we are in America philosophy, voting, a part of society, so on and so forth, in Christianity, Islam. Read on.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, and the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Come on.
And Moses hid his face, and he was afraid to look upon God.
Now all people ain't got that fear that Moses had. Read on.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt.
So hold on, what the angel that appeared in the flaming fire and the burning bush symbolized? Read.
And the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt.
Ain't this spiritual Egypt?
Yes, it is.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Like, ain't this spiritual Egypt that we in just like we're reading about physical Egypt now? Read on.
And then heard their cry by reason of
Ain't we crying and praying to the Lord that he sent death and destruction to this nation that's on the earth that's ruling over us? I pray for death and destruction. I pray for this angel in the flaming fire in the bush that wasn't consumed back then, but now the Lord making that angel consume the bush. Read on.
By reason of their taskmaster. For I know their sorrows.
God said he know your sorrows, you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native American. He ain't blind to the fact that we are being persecuted. We are being convicted for things that we didn't do. We are being judged for the color of our skin. We're being persecuted because we are a believer of the Bible and we keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
You know what's taking us so long, though?
What's that?
We can't get the assistance of our brothers and sisters out here to believe the same thing.
That's the reason why I read Zephaniah 2:1. They talking about race wars and where they sit at when it comes to the nuclear warheads and the capability of the things that they got intact for rulership. Here it is. We can't fulfill Zephaniah 2 verse 1. We can't even gather, let alone go agree.
Only time we gather is for a rapper.
Yeah, it's for a concert, or a funeral, block party,
all of that.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say funeral because I done seen the ops ride to another brother funeral and shoot it up. So it ain't even a funeral. It's a block party. It's a clubs. It's a concert. It's some dealing with wickedness, and death always proceed out of it.
Our people just don't fear the Lord.
Nah, they don't.
So that's why the Lord have to do things like this to get their attention.
Yeah.
Right? Let me read one, Jeremiah 5:12. Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 12. There's no fear of God in our people. Come on.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5 and verse 12. They have believed the Lord.
Read it again.
They that believe the Lord.
They have belied, right? Read
Belied.
it again.
They have belied the Lord.
They have belied. They lied, right? Read.
And said, it is not he.
It ain't the Lord doing this. Come on.
Neither shall evil come upon us.
Neither shall evil come upon us. But the Lord said, hey, I'm gonna get your attention. The Lord can change your life in a split second. Right? The Lord can cause something to happen, make a tornado, or just like a fire come through there in a split second and change your life. Right? Jump down to 22.
Verse 22. Fear ye not me.
God said, fear you not me. Come on, read.
Saith the Lord.
Come on.
Will you not tremble at my presence?
God said, will you not tremble at my presence? Right? God said, I'm going to make my presence known by setting off these fires that's going on in L.A. today. Read.
Which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea.
He said, even the sand obey me, right? The waters obey, because like he said earlier, it's a spirit in all these things. When you read in Sirach 39, read.
By a perpetual decree that it cannot pass
that it cannot pass, right? So God can disrupt your life at any time, at any place, whenever he feel like it to get your attention. Because our people don't fear God.
Hey, real quick, cue that video up of the earthquake in Japan. We're going to skip that other video. We only got about 5 more minutes. Bring it up. All right. Cue that world crisis and earthquake in Japan. Yeah. And then we're going to jump to that food starvation and famine video. Get that one ready. And we'll just do what we're going to do on the end of it.
Hello, namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. 6 days and counting, the California wildfires continue to burn. The devastation is immense. Thousands of homes gutted, people displaced,
Listen
even
to her
dead.
now. She mentioned the
As
wildfire.
authorities try to tame the flames, politicians are fighting over who is to blame and fueling the debate on how it all began.
Hey, stop that
Who
real quick.
or what?
Hold on. Did y'all catch what she said?
I heard a bar in there.
Hey, go back about 5 seconds.
Yeah, I heard a bar in there.
Go ahead, play that.
Try to tame the flames, politicians are fighting over who is to blame
Pause.
and fueling the debate.
So, what the politician fight over? Who is to blame?
Why they
Hey,
trying to
I
fight
ain't
the flame?
saying nothing, but I ain't saying something. I'm just saying, man. All right, play on. Listen to what she's saying, because she's saying a lot of stuff that's going on simultaneously around the world. Read on. I play on.
And how it all began.
The fires
Who or what started the fires? Was it deliberate? An act of arson? We'll discuss. Halfway across the world, Bangladesh is spoiling for a fight. They're now targeting India over a border fence. We will bring you the full story.
So you got war
Also
in
looking
India?
at the economy, why is the rupee falling and the Indian markets crashing? Is Sweden
crash.
at war? The Prime Minister does not say no.
Sweden is
Why
at
the
war?
Venezuelan president has threatened to liberate Puerto Rico from the U.S. with the help of Brazilian forces.
Pause.
Why Thailand?
You see how much America don't go into none of this.
none of this.
We green as hell over here.
Yeah, they
Man, all of this stuff that's going on at the same time around the earth, man.
Yep.
Replay on.
But they pushing the meter of what's going on with Diddy.
Wildfires and over here, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Censor. Read on. Play on.
Wants to legalize gambling and casinos, while Algeria and France are fighting over influencers. What is the story of the Kumbh tax? And why did Jeff Bezos' dream rocket fail to take off? All this and more coming up. The headlines first.
All right, that's it. Go to the next video.
A six.
Oh, no. So it's going into the, I think a 6.9 earthquake hit over there in Japan. The Most High be missing Ammon and Moab up over. Wow! And then a 6.9 earthquake triggered a tsunami. So he double dipped her. He hit her with an earthquake, then it triggered a tsunami, and a tsunami happened. Get that last video. He said Ammon and Moab ain't gonna never come into the congregation, even forever.
That's right.
The hell is this, man? Hung ching chong. Not around here, man. We don't want your damn your Chinese food.
Yeah, we don't want your dog soup.
No,
Your
sir.
grilled rats.
No, sir.
Your cat
The
meat.
worst famines in decades could soon take hold in Sudan following a year and a half of brutal civil war there. Up to 150,000 people are believed to have died, millions more displaced, in what some say is the worst humanitarian crisis facing the world today. Barbara Pletasha sent us this report from Omdurman.
Hunger stalks Sudan. The youngest are its weakest prey. Sudan has long seen malnutrition caused by poverty. But the civil war is causing famine in parts of the country.
So you have just expanded this ward?
Yeah, we've expanded this ward in the previous 2 days. We've added more 35 beds to the ward. It makes a total capacity of 89 beds.
89 beds?
Yes.
How many times have you expanded during the war?
This ward, malnutrition ward, has been expanded 4 times. So
right, that's
patients
enough
are
on
now
that.
lacking of food.
So as you see war, earthquakes, famines going on. Now, we in America, we think that this can't happen over here in America.
Right.
But we get a lot of our foods and stuff from these imported by other countries. And they just so happen in their area over there is experiencing a famine. Now, get that in Isaiah 11 and 11 real quick. Because a lot of our people, when you think about Sudan and South Sudan, you think You think about Hamites. Now it is Hamites over there, but and then also it's confusing because it's predominantly Arabic country. But a lot of our people are over there, man, in Sudan and South Sudan. But get that in Isaiah. When you think about Sudan and South Sudan, it was, when you look at a map, it was a part of Egypt. It was a part of Egypt before the Caucasians came in and split up Africa.
That's right.
Where you get the Suez Canal, just like they did that. It's the same thing how they did Sudan and South Sudan.
They changed up the borders.
Right.
Everywhere they conquer, they change up the borders.
Right. And they just like they change our names. You know what I'm saying? They us and we them, and they everybody. They the Egyptians. They every damn body.
Just confusion.
Right. And then you got to think also in 1884 to 85 they did the scramble of Africa, where all of the European nations went in and saw, all right, we're going to use all the Africa resources and we're going to break it down. Hey, you're going to get this right here. You're going to be over gold. You're going to be over copper, zinc, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Without Africa, the European country would bankrupt and be desolate if it wasn't for the continent of Africa. But read what you got.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. We shall be
He said
left.
he's going to recover he's going to set his hand again a second time. You remember that the first time he scattered us, like you prophesied in Deuteronomy 4 verse 27, Deuteronomy 28. Now he's saying this second time, this particular time, I'm going to recover what I scattered the first time. Read on.
To recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria.
That's modern day Turkey. Read on.
And from Egypt.
Now, when it said Egypt, Egypt is going into the lower Egypt, which they call northern Egypt.
Right.
If you look at some of the old maps of Africa, they was flipped upside down, right side up.
Right.
So the top is really the bottom, and the bottom sometimes is really the top. It's confusing, but that's just how America is. The great land of confusion. Read on.
And from Patros.
Patros, that's going into Sudan and South Sudan, where we're experiencing the famine that's going on. A lot of our people are affected over there in the land when it comes to, because there's a great war between two generals. They came together in the beginning, and then they decided they was going to get the current guy. I forgot the current guy that was running everything over there. So they came together, got him out, and then they decided, all right, we're going to make an allegiance with each other, and we're going to rule the whole country. Well, that didn't go as planned. They had some differences, and now they're raging war against each other. And they both have military backings to where they going and taking all of the resources. They are taking over. They flooding Sudan. In South Sudan. On top of the famine, guess what? Sudan is experiencing the White Nile that's overflowing and then cover a lot of the landmass to where people have to repopulate. So Sudan is going through pure D hell. You heard what she said, 150,000. These are the people that they counted that has died because of the famine that's in the land. We think America can't be touched. We sit over here, especially the ones with bad kids. I don't want to stay in this house no more. Well, take your little bad ass to Sudan then. Let your stomach and your back conjoin with each other and join together. You don't want to be in a household. I'll pay for the ticket to go fly straight in to South Sudan. And hey, listen, they'll teach you how to fish and they'll teach you how to swim. Because you're going to need it, goddammit. The White Nile is currently overflowing. Read on.
And from Cush. And from Elam. And from Shinar. And from Hamath. And from the islands of the sea.
And from the islands of the sea. They'll let you know all people. My mic went out. But they'll let you know all people are in these areas. All people occupy these areas. The Lord said he was going to scatter us, and he did exactly that. So, hey, all praises Israel. That'll conclude our topic for today. What was the name of the class again?
War of destruction in the last days.
Say it again.
Woe of destruction in the last days.
The woe effects in the last days.
All right, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ.
And not just this one, but tune in to our channel so you can see all of our shows that have been posted. Shalom.
Praise. Shalom.
Let's go. First woe, second woe, third woe coming soon. I see the nations turning to ashes. Somebody pass me a broom. I see the angels like what's cracking. This be the day of doom. Second Esdras, chapter 7. God got things to do. God got things to prove. Show exactly who he is.